welcome very much to the virtual and to the live IAS, and thank you very much for participating. My name is Marcia Meskim, and I'm the Director of the Institute of Advanced Studies, and this event is part of, it wraps up our first week, in fact, of the Transitions Festival, which we are thrilled to be having 2 weeks of events around the concept of transition, and our festival with the weeks with guest speakers, wonderful visiting fellows, international collaborators, and national collaborators on a whole range of projects is designed very specifically under the auspices of the IAS to foster international interdisciplinary collaborations research on areas of real key critical concern today, thinking about the transitions that we need to make in future toward far greater social equity, toward ecological justice, toward economic equity as well, and thinking about the role that academic research can play in that. We are particularly interested in the ideas around both academic research and universities as institutions. And we are hoping very much, and certainly the culmination of our first full week has been a real process of having some wonderful conversations around these sorts of ideas. And today's event, Resistant Transition, Debating the Future of Legal Gender, and the Flag Project is a wonderful way to end our first week. And I am more than delighted to be turning over to my colleague Liz Peel and to be welcoming Davina Cooper from King's College and Flora Renz from Kent, who are joining us today. And they'll be leading the conversation and also talking to you about the nature of how to participate in the second part of this. At this point, I want to turn over to Liz. So Liz, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Marcia, for that introduction for today. As you said, my name is Liz Peel. I'm a professor of communication and social interaction at the university, and I'm going to chair today. Just to say a little bit of background around the project investigative team and research team. Davina Cooper was the principal investigator for the project. Flora Renz, who's here today, and myself were co-investigators, but also Emily Grabban from Kent was also a co-investigator on the project. And you can see some more smiling faces at the bottom. There were our research associates. So Robin Emerton, based at King's, Jess Smith, also based at King's, and Han Newman, who was based with me at Loughborough. And they obviously need to be acknowledged in the context of this. I want to just say a few things around housekeeping and ground rules, if I can move on the slide. We're not expecting a fire alarm this afternoon for those of us in the physical building. Obviously, for those online, you'll have to deal with your own health and safety issues, but I thought I would raise that. We're going to run this with a break part of the way through, but what we're going to do is have a series of introductory talks from Davina, Flora and myself. Then we'll take a comfort break, and then really it's around having a respectful and open discussion. For those of you online, you will notice that you can post things in the chat, but they're not visible to anybody bar the panelists, because we really want to enable a verbal conversation around some of these issues, recognising that it is quite a contentious topic, and therefore we need to, it's much easier, I think, to have that conversation when it's verbal rather than written down. So really just, basic good manners and ground rules around not dominating the floor. And of course, we want people to contribute. It's not about in any way silencing conversation, but just doing that in a respectful way to ensure that everybody has a voice, but that no voice is dominant in that conversation. Okay, so without further ado, and for those of you in the room as well, we've got physical copies of the final report if you want to have a look at that. But I think everybody's been sent an electronic version ahead of time. So hopefully you might have had the opportunity to read and digest some of the content. So hopefully it'll be a really interesting and exciting conversation later on. So I will hand over now to Davina, the principal investigator.